All right, welcome to the Orisha Lifestyle Academy. This is your instructor, Obafemi Origuwa, and today I've got a brief but very potent lesson that I want to share with you based on something that I just got a glimpse of while I was checking out Dr. Umar Johnson's Instagram. And it was very interesting because there was an interview with another brother who I apologize, I don't know who this brother was, but he was privileged enough to be interviewing Dr. Cornel West. And um, it was really interesting to see that in the conversation, he asked Dr. West about something that Dr. Umar had said about multiculturalism. And um, Dr. West gave the only response that he really could, and that's why I'm sharing this lesson because it's a real powerful opportunity where you have Dr. Umar on one end of the equation, and then you have Cornel West on the other end of the equation. Dr. Umar is relatively new, right? He's the young lion, right? And then you got Cornel West, who's a veteran, right? He's been around for quite a long time, and as such, Dr. West has a well established constituency in academia. And so, he's steeped in a world that is absolutely governed by ideas of multiculturalism. Okay, so his book deals and his speaking engagements and his membership in different organizations and all of that is tied to a whole bunch of organizations, institutions, and individuals who are staunch supporters of multiculturalism, particularly as it pertains to African Americans. They're invested in him as an exponent of multiculturalism. So he has to say what he said, is what I'm trying to get around to. Dr. West had to say what he said, which was super weak, super weak. It was just, you know, interesting for perhaps you could put it up for the vocabulary and, some kind of an analysis and some of the names he might have dropped. But apart from that, it was a useless statement. I'll say that. No offense to Dr. West. Like I said, I know why he said what he said. At least I think I know why he said what he said. He probably believes some of it, but most of it is political. But the statement was absolutely useless, which was multiculturalism is the way. Gobble it up, gobble it up, gobble it up. More and more multiculturalism. There's all kinds of moral and spiritual reasons why multiculturalism is the salvation of the people. Nonsense, garbage. And the last thing that someone in his position should be saying to someone in Dr. Umar's position. In reality, what Dr. West should say and what every elder should say to the young warriors, to the young agitators, to the young activists, to the young visionaries and builders, all elders should say, yes, we need an all Black everything. Any organization, any group, any society, any individual who's advocating for an undilutable, compromisable, all Black everything should be encouraged, should be enriched, should be empowered. That is what the elders should be saying to the youth. 100%. Why? Because you could go back to Claude Anderson, laid it out for us so clearly. Claude Anderson, 20 years ago, Claude Anderson, who was the national economist for like 3 presidents, he's not just, this is not a guy with a YouTube channel. Claude Anderson is the guy he has been there watching the economic and political architecture of this country for, like I said, for president on a presidential level, right? He's talking real information. He's gone coast to coast looking for organizations for Black people, and he couldn't find one. And when I first heard the statement, I was thinking, what? What do you mean? But it's true. all of our organizations, all of our movements, all of our initiatives, everything that Black people do is multicultural, multicultural, multicultural. Everything, all of our incentives, everything that we fought for, everything that we strive for, we have given parts of the platform away to everybody who looks like they're an underdog, everybody who looks like they got a little bit of a disadvantage, everyone who looks like they're a bit oppressed. We bring them onto our program. We make room for them in our little winnings, which is good hospitality. I'm not criticizing my people, but I'm saying that it has become problematic because while we have diluted everything that we have and everything that we're doing to accommodate everybody else, now you as a Black man, you tell me. If I'm lying, you tell me in the comment section. You tell me as a Black man in any country, excuse me, any city in this country, you have a problem with the white man. You tell me the organization that you're going to go to in your town right now. You got a problem with a Mexican. Where do you go? You got a problem with the Koreans. Where do you go? You got a problem with the Chinese. Where do you go? You got a problem with the Russians. Where do you go? You got a problem with the government itself. Who do you turn to that you know? Which organization in your city do you know that is going to stand and deliver for you as a Black person just because you're Black? You name the organization for me. Likewise, you got a great opportunity. You have a fantastic idea. You got a vision for something that's going to revolutionize healthcare in our community or education in our community or something. You have some brilliant idea and you want some help elevating that idea, promoting that idea, advancing that idea. Who do you turn to that's going to support your ideas just because you're a Black person who wants to benefit other Black people in your community? Tell me the organization that you're going to go to and they're going to say, oh, we got a listening ear. Sit down. Let's hear all about it. Tell me that organization in your town. Your children just want the real story about who we are, where we come from, how we got here. Just going back to the civil rights movement. We don't have to go all the way back into the depths of Great Zanzibar. Just your children, you want your children to have a clear understanding of what civil rights and the Black Power movement and Nation of Islam. Just break it down. Where can you go in your town where your children can learn the truth and the reality of who we are and where we come from? Tell me in your town, and I'm talking about even towns that are solid Black, in Baltimore, in DC, in Atlanta, in Oakland, in LA, in Houston, in Detroit. Tell me, where can you go to make sure that your children get the truth about who we are? Tell me. And here we are, the richest, most resourceful, with the most access Black people on the planet. And we don't have social and political institutions in place that we know will defend us from assault and oppression. And we don't have organizations and institutions that we know that will promote us and elevate us when we are doing all of the things that are associated with progressive civilization. We don't have a platform, but we're talking about multiculturalism all day long. It doesn't make sense because without a hardcore all Black pillar, the multiculturalism is a sham anyway. Because everybody knows that when we leave the room, the Black person don't have A, no one to come fight for him, B, no one to invest in him. So really, if everyone does the math, they're all going to say, well, this guy is just a pawn. We're all saying multiculturalism, but we know that this guy is going to go wherever his next opportunity comes because he can't make anything happen for himself. Anything he has to do, he's going to have to come and beg for our support anyway. So This is why I say the answer that Dr. West gave was weak, because he's been sitting at those tables for far longer than I have, and I know he understands the science of how multiculturalism works and how multiculturalism does not work. So I say all of this to say that people of African descent absolutely positively need to be comfortable with creating all Black everything. You need to be absolutely at ease. Don't feel the slightest bit of anxiety about creating an all Black everything. It's totally in your best interest. This is what the nature of power is. You need numbers. You need numbers. You need to have more numbers on your side than anybody else. Or everybody needs to know that everyone outside of your community, all other people need to know that Black people are going to come together on something, on right. That there's going to be some way in which, if you are engaging one, all of them are going to be involved. That is the nature of power. That's the nature of power. Okay, and so um, this is a lesson, as all my lessons of late, for the leaders. This is a lesson for the leaders. I am looking for leaders who are not afraid of all Black everything, who want to improve the world through positive influence, positive all Black influence, right? If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how Obafemi Origunwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help take your practice and your life to the next level. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com. Let's start living the medicine that will help you to heal your life and heal the lives of those who you're destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.